take some of those finer points of the game plan that worked against Weber and hopefully use them this week?
Yeah, I think, obviously, first of all, that's a heck of a defense, and to take him, to try to, like I said early in the week last week, to try to eliminate him in that game plan was hard to do. He's a heck of a player. I think Colorado's another great defense with a great staff, kind of new to the conference, so we're kind of learning about them, and only these first 4 games really don't got much to go off of in a lot of situations, but coached well and have a good scheme, and Coach Tucker does a great job with their group, and he's got another backer who's another guy you got to really be accountable for in a lot of different areas, So hopefully we've got a decent plan. I think we feel good about what we're doing in a short week, in a few days to kind of get everything's outlined.
Given a short week, how do you compress things to get all of what you want to get in before game time?
Yeah, it's a careful balance. I think if I know many of us have made mistakes early in our probably rookie careers that you try to do too much in a short week, and you really got to go back and find out exactly what you've got that you've had in your inventory versus a structure that you're seeing, and make sure that you're not doing too much in a short week. There's some carryover a little bit structurally as far as the defense, which is good for us. But I think more than anything, we've just had to really pay attention to kind of ourselves and what we can do in a short week and attacking this group, and then making sure we're counteracting some of the things that we can continue to improve on.
Colorado obviously has a lot of good skill players and quarterback, but are you seeing Mel's influence on their defense already this season?
Yeah, the unfortunate part, as from us, we don't get to see any offense. I know they got some good players. You don't see any of the film. We watch zero offense, but it's very evident what he's doing and the culture he's trying to do, take over up there, and he'll do a great job. I'm sure that you can see the influence they've had on those guys trying to get things done, and we know that's all a hard job. But they're doing a great job, and then he's a great coach. You can see that the movement they're making is real.
Having Micah and Schooler back, how much of a difference did it make this weekend? And seeing Micah specifically just kind of have sticky hands out there, was he as advertised?
Yeah, I think you guys saw, some of the stuff that you saw in kind of spring going with Micah and some of the stuff in camp. We knew there'd be some rust. There was some rust out there in both regards. Some of the things we were doing in the given game plan with the lights on and the excitement of the game, But again, getting those guys reactivated and going again. I know Schooler was really excited to get back out there. There's a couple things he wanted to clean up, and we all wanted to clean up. Micah was excited, and I know that was good to see those guys back in the mix,
When you've had a little bit of a lack of explosive plays by way of 20-plus yard plays, Marcus, particularly in the passing game, how much is having them back, but also, again, not a criticism of the opponent, but they rank in the 120s in pass defense. How much is this a potential opportunity to have some more explosive plays? We
try to stay away from the stats, of where they're ranked. Their defenses they're all good. The one we played is really, really good, and we moved the ball and did some things to self-destruct ourselves, but then you got the explosive play rate, the big play rate, whether it be 10 or 12, your big plays or your explosive plays at 20, something we look at for sure. The 10s are up really high. We need to have a few more 20s up in there, and I think having guys back like Micah and Schooler and even Juwan back out gives you opportunity to stretch a field regardless of who you're playing. I think that's going to be an opportunity for us to have success there.
CJ seemed to have his explosiveness back early in that game. How encouraging was that, the start he had to that game for you?
Yeah, I know that CJ's got that ability. He looked fresh. He looked really good. He took a little ding there. I think he's going to be back and get back in full stride here shortly, and excited about that. But I think, the course of you look at that's kind of the course of a season. You look at how the course builds up, and guys, it's good to see guys getting warmed up as it goes, as opposed to starting fast and starting to slow down. It tells us that, number one, our conditioning and what we did in the off season's kicked in. And it was good to see him with a good little pep in his step.
What has impressed you the most about Andy Avalos in his first year as defensive?
Yeah, I've known Andy for a long time, since we've all got this together for a long time. Andy did a great job. Awesome to have him here. Detailed and demanding, and does an awesome job with our defense, obviously. So really excited, since we knew we were getting a chance to bring him on board. Doing an awesome job.
Everyone can't play, but what's preventing Felix from having a bigger role? The limited amounts he has, he seems to do well.
Yeah, I think just being 100%. It's just he's battled some stuff and continues to battle some things, and we're excited every day. Hopefully he gets a little bit better. That's the only thing that's held it back from really seeing what he can do on a consistent basis.
On the topic of Felix, what did you see from Cyrus last week? We saw a lot from him, not on the goal line. So thoughts on him?
Yeah, no, Cyrus is another guy who's been a dependable guy, especially when we go through a little nick there with CJ. He's got to go bounce back up, and he's done a great job since last year of being a guy, especially on the goal line. They can carry a guy in and finish it, and demand a lot of him, and expectations are high too. So he's a core player for us.
Did Justin did he miss some wide open targets more than usual, or was that? How did he do? You think in that way? It seemed like there were some guys that
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think no one's more critical, what anyone says, no one's more critical than coaches and players on themselves. Right. There's some opportunities there that I'm sure he went back. I think there's opportunities knowing Justin the way he is. There's going to be games where he's not missing. We may see him with an 80% completion percentage like he's had before, and he's still mad about one ball. So that's a sign of a true competitor in that regard, a guy who's really acute in regard to everything. He wants to be exactly right. And there's a couple things he'd want back in that game, but nothing that would give us a knee-jerk reaction to think that that's not something he's capable of coming back from.
So like a play that Juwan Johnson was wide open, cut to the center. Did you guys kind of go back to that at all? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think he was on a shallow combination there. He had a couple guys there towards the middle of the field, and something we came back to in a different way. But yeah, that's one thing you look at and say, oh, okay, here we go, got a guy, get it back into it, and progress through it.
I realize Devin can't play this year for you, but what just kind of impact does he have at the receiver position long term for you guys?
I mean, that's hard to tell right now, Matt. I don't, it's hard to tell with the kind of scope we're in right now. But I mean, an opportunity to have a kid who's very dynamic, who we knew through recruiting for a really long time, who has a chance to raise the bar in that room is going to be something special. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.